Free plugins, where are they? I wanna. Truth is, not every free plugin is worth your time. I mean, right now we have a bunch of new free plugins every week, so it's hard to keep track of which ones are actually good. Besides that, we know that a lot of the time, a free plugin actually means new clickbait thumbnails for YouTube videos, or is a stripped down version of something that wants you to buy things. So I decided to make a video about the only recent free plugins that I believe are worth it. Let's check them out. First one is Haze by Lunacy Audio. Now you could argue that this one is made so you buy Beam in the future, but honestly, I don't feel like you will need Beam if you just want this effect. Haze is hard to define because it's like a delay with modulation thingy that can give you washed out sounds, but also some metallic, slow, confiltery things. I mean, that's why it's on this list. It's a complex concept, but in an easy interface. The main parameters are the scale and motion, which are the time of the delay and a little bit of modulation, I believe. And again, the reason why it's on the list is because it produces unique type of sounds. I mean, just take a listen to some examples.
All we know is falling down, we don't know where we're going now, no. All we know is falling down, down, down.
Next up we have a model synthesizer, which is crazy because in the last video we already had a model synthesizer, but this one is different, and I believe it's more advanced too. By the way, it's crazy that we have two developers that are creating instruments based on this super complex type of synthesis for free. So, of course, if you have the resources, go and support all of these developers. The idea of Resonarium is that you can independently control each of the different resonances of the sound. Not only that, it has different kinds of exciters, like an impulse for a hit, or noise for bowing or something like that, and a sequence. This type of model synthesis is not telling you which element you are recreating, is all on your ears, and that makes it very experimental. You have other parameters like dispersion to detune things a little bit, and filters before and after the exciting. Besides all of that, we have modulators, a lot of effects, and I forgot to mention that you can also use a sample as an exciter, giving you even crazier results. Now, a piece of advice, don't ignore the warning sign that pops up when you first load it, and put a limiter after it, because as it's experimental, it can create very loud resonances sometimes, especially when in the sampler you use something that's melodic rather than noisy. So yeah, I just want to see what the future holds for this specific instrument. I am loving it. I think it's one of my favorite model synthesizers right now. Now, I don't see that Resonarium has a reverb. Whoop, never mind. It has more effects. But anyway, next free plugin is a reverb. And in fact, this is actually one of my all-time favorite reverbs ever. This is Plateau 2. Originally, this wasn't a standalone VST. The first time I used it was on BCV Rack, and I always wanted to use it on my DAW. But of course, if you want to use BCV as an VST, you have to buy it. Then in Cardinal, they added Plateau, and I've been using it just for that. But it's so much better having it as a standalone because, of course, I sometimes don't feel like using modular things. The thing with Plateau is that it sounds beautiful, it's gorgeous, it's one of the best reverbs I've heard. I mean, there was a long time that I used it just that it is. I didn't even change the parameters. But of course, it's not only beautiful, it's also very deep. I mean, It lets you change different filtering, the diffusion, the size, the decay, of course, and the modulation can be very extreme too. Besides that, it has extra features like the pre-delay, of course, soft clipping, nested diffusion, mod variance, tank variance, and diffusion decay. I mean, it can get very crazy and you can really tailor the type of reverb you want. But again, if you want to use it just as it is, not going too deep, still sounds excellent. I don't know, I just love it. It's my go-to reverb, especially for synthesizers and keys. Now, next up may not be the most interesting for many of my viewers, but for me it is. I have a sweet spot for some analog emulations, and in fact, some of my secret weapons, so to speak, are analog emulations. For instance, I send my drums and the bass to the same bus, and in that I use the Avalon 747 from Casrock. And for me, it makes everything beefier, it glues the low end very nicely, and the drums hit harder. So you can understand my surprise when I learned that there's a free emulation of another Avalon channel strip. I know that's not the same, but the character should be similar. And let me quickly check if this one is the same as the UAD. So when I tested the YS Elegant, I was pretty impressed. I mean, it's free and it also has a very nice character, especially for low end and for drums. So if you are an analog emulation enthusiast like me, I'd say check this one. Let me know in the comments what do you think about that, of course. Now, next plugin depends entirely on you. This plugin is giving a like to this video and subscribing to the channel. Just kidding, that will mean everything to me. By the way, I just started a Ko-fi page for people that want to make a one-time donation, so they don't have to subscribe to channel members or Patreon. It's just one time. I'm a bit thirsty and sleepy, so please help me out. Now, next plugin is pretty nice and pretty simple, and it's a filter. Specifically, it's Filter by Blepfx. As the name suggests, and for the interface too, you can infer this is a filter. Now, it has many different types, but the great thing about it is actually that it's a non-linear type of filter. I mean, except if you use it on clean mode. All of these will sound very different, and when you use the filter, you can notice that. And not only that, of course, if you go crazy with the resonance, you can get pretty nice effects too. It has a limiter, which is very nice for this type of loud things, and it actually has a modulator that you can set up by holding Shift. The modulation can be your regular LFO, or an envelope follower, or an envelope follower that works with a sidechain. So you can use a trigger track, and then you just change the release to get a more controlled kind of sound. Not only that, the mod audio is actually audio Reid, which will create crazy results. It's pretty simple, but it's very well programmed and the different distortions sound sweet. I'm a sucker for good distortion plugins, so it's great to have this type of filter. And with that, we finished the video. Let me know in the comments what you think and if I'm missing other recent free plugins that you think are great. Thank you so much for watching, I will see you next time and bye bye!